Hey everybody, thank you for joining me. It's one of our interview nights tonight. Wesley Boutier is going to be joining me from Viewist. He's a podcaster and film stir and celebrity stir, and I wanted him on because we sort of like cult stuff and whatever. And he did my first ET interview over the reunion when I went to Los Angeles for the premiere. He nabbed me like I sometimes nab celebrities to talk, especially now that I have this show. I've got to call into one of my, whoa, oh my God, I can't believe I got through to her. She's like so amazing. I'll go into it another time, but she's slated. A friend of mine from the UK who's an actor, hugely popular in the early 80s on television in the UK. He'll be joining us. Elen on Wednesday, Elen Yudi is going to be with us. I did 2 movies with her, and we co-starred in one stage play. We've known each other since we were 19 years old, and there she is, and I cannot wait. She's been in Deep Space Nine and all kinds of cult movies, and she was on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and I mean, you name it. She's also a cabaret clown, does cabaret acts, old style clown routine and makeup and styling. Everything is amazing. So I can't wait to see you, Ellen. That's going to be super exciting. And let me get to make sure that I'm hooked up here for Wesley's call. I don't know, it's just exciting to be able to do this on a different platform because, like my other interview with Lemaire, she's an old friend and we go way back and whatever, but to be able to have her on this forum because she used to have this show called The Sweeties, which is an Emmy-winning show. I mentioned that she was on a little while ago, so wow, that was super fun. And Wesley's going to be super fun tonight. Again, Wesley's going to be calling in any minute probably. He's a podcaster. He, like I said, got a hold of me at the ET premiere. Not after the premiere, but in and around the time of the reunion, and did, I think, to date, my best interview. There you go, right on time. Wesley,
Hey,
are you there?
yeah, can you hear me?
I can. You're on with us finally. Yes,
All
I
right,
was able to
perfect.
work the speakerphone. Believe it or not. Wow. I'm so technical. I was just talking about you, and I wanted to get into some of the other things like on your site. Some of the interviews you've done, and some of what drives you there, and also I'm particularly interested about your documentary critiques because I've never. I mean. I just haven't. I was thinking in the kitchen today. I've never really heard of somebody doing critiques of documentaries themselves. It's usually just we rely on the information from the documentary. So I want to touch on that too. But how did you find me over the reunion? Did you come onto Facebook? What was it that you had the chutzpah to approach me and give me the best interview I'd had to date?
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think a lot of people who watched it liked it a lot. But
Yeah.
yeah, I really enjoy interviewing people. I kind of started during the pandemic where
Oh.
everybody was just kind of home doing nothing. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can reach out to whoever and maybe they'll be down. And
Right.
Dee Wallace was the first person I
Oh,
spoke
that's right.
to.
You got D. So
Yeah,
people were not as busy working, obviously, in the industry during COVID. So you had more of an opportunity to get a hold of folks. Is that it? Or
yes, yeah, exactly. And so after that, I just kind of kept the ball rolling and was like, oh, let's see who else I can talk to, whether
wow.
it's ET people or
Yeah.
anybody else that I might be interested in. And
Right.
it's kind of become a thing now that everybody knows how to Zoom and
Yeah.
everything. You can kind of talk to anybody who's willing. You can get them on video and chat them up.
Yeah. I noticed that on your site. They're very kind of off the cuff, kind of casual interviews in people's living rooms and whatever. It kind of makes and your studio room is also like more inviting. So you just got that feel that they were like just kind of talking to somebody in their living room or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like I've started to get a little better at interviewing. I think at first I was kind of nervous
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
to certain people and
yeah, yeah.
everything, but then um, yeah, everybody seems like super cool once you sit down and start talking to him. And a lot of times I don't even plan questions ahead of time. I might plan like a few, but I spoke to Steve Whitmire, who used to play Kermit the Frog.
That's right. Oh my God. And then wait, just let me jump in. So you got Steve Whitmire. You also, which I promoted on today's show, the promo for, because I love kind of cultish stuff, offbeat. I know you go for like weird niche type stuff. What made you think of getting what would be, I guess, Lamb Chop's sister?
Yeah, Mallory Lewis kind of like picked up the mantle after her mom passed.
I noticed
Lamb
that.
Chop now.
And she makes like appearances or something since then, right? With Lamb Chop?
Yeah, she was coming here to the Center for Puppetry Arts here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to go to the show, but I was like, let me see if I can interview her.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to see if I could snag her in person, but that didn't work out. But I was like, hey, I will gladly talk to Lamb Chop online.
Right. Who wouldn't? Man, what I wouldn't give to talk to Lamb Chop on a podcast.
Yeah, she was great. She was nice. I didn't even know that she was gonna have Lamb Chop with her. I was like, oh, maybe we can grab her later. But all of a sudden, she pops into frame, and I was like, oh my God, this is the best.
So how was it interviewing Dee? Was that cool? I haven't. She's one of the people at the premiere I saw, and I got to be honest with you, Wesley. I don't think I've ever told you this because I know you interview Robert, Dee, do kind of the ET crowd and then some of the other sort of sci-fi space crowd. But I don't know if I mentioned to you. Do you know that over the reunion, when we were all sort of in the same hotel and at the premiere and everything, I had scarcely Wesley ever said a word to the woman.
Oh wow.
We didn't have scenes together. We were together in the end, of course, looking up at the sky, so we were all right next to each other there. I knew her because my mom used to be a casting director and put her in an Excedrin commercial before ET. And I've never known what to say to the poor woman because like I said, people don't really know. I never really talked. Like if I wasn't in a scene with you, and so. I'll wrap it up here, but here I am, and I'm at the Chinese Theater, and again, same scenario. We haven't talked, we kind of, we know each other, but whatever. And what does Sean say again after 40 years? My mom did cast you in that Excedrin commercial.
Did she remember it?
No, poor woman. Maybe she did. I don't know. And she was just so polite. She said, yes, well, commercial endorsements are nice or something like off the cuff. But I'm thinking, here you are 40 years later, and all you can say is this Excedrin commercial, which I said on the set, because it hadn't been that long before. But so she was nice to you. That was cool. I haven't seen that interview. I saw a clip of it.
Yeah, that was, we didn't have Zoom for that one, so it's me. And I talked to her on the phone for, I don't remember how long we spoke, but she was great and super down to talk about anything.
Really?
I ended up meeting her later on because she did a convention here, and then I went to a Tommy Howell did. You probably saw that he did his thing. He had like a show he was doing in Nashville.
What? What kind of show?
He had like a residency there, and so they would do like his music with his like country band, but then there would be different nights. So there was like one night with
I had no idea.
Charlie Sheen was there, and then the night I went was the ET reunion with it was him, Robert, and Dee, and Henry, and it was cool. And I went backstage and
oh my God! So it was a band. He has a band or something like that.
Yeah, he's got like a whole country music career.
Whoa! I had no idea.
Yeah, and it was a pretty good show, and they kind of talked a little bit about ET when they got everybody up there, and then went back into some more music, and I went backstage, and it was like such a strange vibe for some of us. I feel like Dee was back there, but it was like, this feels so rock and roll.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's not exactly like the G-rated atmosphere around ET normally. You're in the back room of some hoedown honky tonk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was kind of an interesting vibe, but it was really cool.
Yeah. And that was out
So
by
yeah,
where you are?
that was in Nashville,
Oh,
so I'm in
Nashville. That's right,
Atlanta,
Nashville.
so not too far though. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was very cool.
Wow, I had no idea. I mean, I saw her interview. Did you talk to Tommy at all? I mean, I saw him
Uh,
once, like,
Very briefly.
really?
Yeah, Robert's wife,
Bianca.
Bianca,
Yeah.
she's great.
Yeah.
But I think she said something to him. She goes, Wesley has an ET podcast, and he was like,
Oh.
oh, cool. I was like,
Oh.
okay, I sound like the biggest dork
Well,
here,
because
but
it's not an ET podcast, but okay. I mean, I know excuse me, you did a few of us over that reunion, but it's hardly an Well, yeah, I guess you did have that like sub logo thing of the
yeah,
cartoon of
I did
Henry. Yeah,
for a little bit. I did like I called it the ET enthusiast, and I
right. The
kind of
ET enthusiast. That's right. That's right.
yeah. So I interviewed like you and Robert and just some people who were like tangentially
Yeah,
related as well, and
yeah.
yeah, I'd love to do more of them. It's just it's hard to
I'm
find a
gonna
lot of
I'm gonna
ET
have.
people.
Well, yeah, because we're all ancient now. But I'll have to try and grab some on my show, and whoever I get, then I will move them over to you to do from Atlanta, so that they can do kind of a junket.
Oh yeah, that would be
Between
great.
the two of us, it's like a press junket.
Yeah,
But
we're
yeah,
just promoting a 40-year-old movie.
yeah, exactly. Well, that's the weird thing is, I mean, I love my fan base and everything. I always talk about that, but it's like it's so kind of weird because you're used to it being your peers, right? But the fans you had 40 years ago are different now. They look
Yeah.
different.
Right,
So,
because now it's like a whole another generation, like
yeah,
even since I've seen it, because the first time I saw the movie was 2002 during the re-release, and now you probably have kids who saw it for
yeah,
the first time during the 40th
yeah.
anniversary a couple of years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was just talking with my husband the other night about how it's weird because there's like, it's of course it's across the board appeal, but there's this like I want to say niche, group of fans that kind of like, kind of dominates the others. And that is one, the first wave, which as you can imagine is the first, theater goers. And
Yeah,
then there's the second wave, which is the kids of those theater goers who were now brought to the theater to see it by the parents. Now there is a third wave, Wesley. I have actually talked to folks that have brought their grandchildren to see it.
oh wow.
Now, they're not my age. Well, maybe they are. Anyway. Next topic.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't. We
Yeah.
don't need to
No,
talk
no, no,
about
no.
that.
Well, yeah. Well, let's end cycle on that. On that whole. Let me move myself around here. So there's so much to talk about. Like I said, I was interested in though. What is this idea that you had about? I know you had a couple of documentaries on your site, and you do sort of critiques of the information that they impart on the documentaries. Where did you think of that, and where did that come from? And do you want to pursue
Well,
it?
well, it's actually kind of our own documentaries, just
Oh,
very like short form, um,
oh,
where we'll kind of like find a topic that's maybe a little more niche,
yeah,
or something that we're nostalgic for, but
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
not everyone is.
yeah.
And yeah, we'll just kind of take that and do our research and everything you would do for a normal documentary, but
Right.
it's usually like 12 minutes
I
or
was going to
shorter.
say they're brief. It's kind of, I mean, not that we want to shortchange history or anything, but your subjects, like I said, sometimes are so niche that you can fit them comfortably into 10 minutes.
Yeah, like one of the ones that kind of like pushed me into interviewing people was this VHS tape I remembered watching as a kid called Clown TV, and no one has ever heard of it. And I couldn't find really anything about it online except for the people who were in it. And I was like, what if I just ask them? And I reached out to one cast member, and he put me in touch with everyone else. And it's like
Of this
very
old obscure series?
yeah. This is one of the documentaries we did for
Oh,
our
right.
series.
Okay, so you pieced that together. What was the series?
It was a very obscure VHS tape. They only did 2 episodes called Clown TV.
Clown
And
TV.
yeah, it's about clowns running their own TV station, and it's lots of these. The director was part of. He did like theater work, and so it was a lot of people that he did theater with.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of like clowns in drag and
What?
musical set pieces, and like it's very like.
Oh my God!
I don't remember what the budget was, but it's very like thrown together.
Yeah.
But like super talented people, and it's very funny, and it's like even funnier now when I watch it as an adult. And you can find it on YouTube too.
You can? Okay, because that's now my next project after we're done. Is I've got to go see that.
Yeah, there's some really talented people in that, and some really funny people that I've interviewed on the channel as well, because they're a hoot, and they've all done like. Some of them have been on Broadway and
really
theme park performing and stuff like that.
Okay, wow. Okay, so they went on to bigger and better.
Yeah, they were all shocked that I had even heard of Clown TV. They were like, "Oh my God!" They were all excited to talk about it, but they were like, "How do you know about that?"
Yeah, exactly. Half of it was that, and half of it was like, "Wait a minute, where'd you come from?"
Yeah. Exactly. I'm like. I have no idea. I watched it so much as a kid, and I don't even know where my mom found the VHS.
Right. At the supermarket. Well, that reminded me too. I mentioned at the beginning. Oh, no, I don't think I did mention it. One of the guests that I'm hoping to get, which was sort of confirmed today, and I'll not Ellen, because I know I shared her promo with you, but there's another actress who is a cult person, and I will share that with you, and I'll share the film with you so you can see it, because. Here's the thing, Wesley. Same as you, I was reaching out to these folks that interested me, industry folks, and she was on my friends list. And so I thought, like you're probably used to, like, well, what the hell? What do I have to lose, right? So I send her this, and I want to dance around this because I don't want to give the name of the movie. But long story short, we kind of, we're friendly, but I still called her ma'am, because she's like, I was kind of starstruck. And funny thing is, Wesley, the film, which I'll share with you later, she had no idea that it was even a cult film. She said, I swear, Wesley, she goes to me, I didn't even really think anyone liked it. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, well, I didn't really think anyone much liked it or liked me in it. And I'm like, excuse me, hold on. First of all, you are a cult goddess. I don't know if you know that or not, but you had me at 13, foaming at the mouth. And then I'm like, wait, ma'am. You don't know that, movie X is like a cult classic? She's like, no. I said, ma'am, it totally qualifies as a cult classic. You're like a cult star and you don't even know that? She's like, no. Anyway, I got the interview, so I'm not gonna say anything until I get double confirmation. But yeah, I'll tell you afterwards. It was because that's how I've always been. Like those fan moments for me are always with the most obscure. You can probably relate to this. They're probably a lot of them are with the most obscure people. Like I enjoy telling some obscure actor that has never been recognized for anything, but they happen to be in one of my favorite movies. I like to gush over their performance because one, it's genuine, and two, it is so, as you're probably used to, it's so left field to them that you're gushing at all,
Yeah, and that's always my favorite too, is when like somebody approaches even like a big name actor and has them sign some project that they're like, oh my God, I love this project.
Oh, right.
About it.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That just reminds me something completely out of the blue. Talking about that is Susan Tyrell, who was another cult icon earlier on. I'll share some of her movies with you. And so she had a cabaret act in West Hollywood that, separate from her career, just, cabaret act, whatever. So I saw it like 2 or 3 times because I was a huge fan. So I went to Larry Edmunds' bookstore on Hollywood Boulevard, and I knew that on the second time go round, I have got to get her to sign something. But Larry Edmunds had nothing. and they had some silly old, like, she was in like Bonanza or whatever the hell it was. And so she's kind of done up, like you can't quite tell, but I got it because there was something for her to sign. I bring it to her, Wesley, and she's so put off, not like bad put off, but she's so put off that I chose that picture that she signed it, thank you, question mark. So, I mean,
Awesome.
and so it was kind of embarrassing because question mark, I mean, what do you mean, thank you, question mark? You're my favorite, don't put that.
That's too funny.
So, I totally get it. I mean, we've both had our brushes with celebrity, but isn't it kind of more fun to deep dive in the ones that aren't quite used to being, I don't know, interviewed so much or something?
Yeah, especially when it's like something that they haven't really had a chance to talk about very much.
Oh,
Like I had
right.
that with the Clown TV one, and
Yeah.
I've had it with a few where they're like, "Oh yeah, ask me anything. Like this was a great period of my life, and I would love to talk about it." And no one ever
Wow.
asked me about it.
That's the thing. No one ever asks them. I want to be the one that asks.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's I don't know. It's just there's always a story there.
Yeah.
Because it's not the thing that everyone's talking about, and it's I don't know. It's I like both sides of it. Because E.T. is like the opposite, where it's like that was the
Yeah.
highest grossing movie of all time for
Yeah.
a while, and I
Yeah.
love to hear stories about that too.
Yeah.
But it's fun to go the
The other route.
yeah.
Oh man,
Exactly.
yeah, it's so true. That's why I love your site, and I hope you develop it more. I know that you had this sub kind of ET thing going on, and then you have a couple of your documentaries, and then you have your celebrity interviews, and I just want you to keep at it because you've got all those pieces there that I love, and I just want everyone from each of the audiences to come together.
Yeah, I've got a few videos in the works now. 'Cause
Tell us
kinda
about them.
go-
Tell us about them. Tell us about them.
Yeah, me and my buddy that I do all of these with, his name is Cody. We just got back from Helen, Georgia. Do you know about that place?
No.
Oh, there's a place kind of in the mountains here in Georgia.
Yeah.
It looks like an old-timey German village. Like everything there is German.
Really?
It's very strange and very kitschy, and you can go like tubing there and all sorts of stuff.
What?
What'd you say? Sorry.
Oh, I said what?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's bizarre. It's like stepping into Disneyland or something. But it's
How weird.
We went there because there's if that's not weird enough, there's also a castle there, and
Okay, this is getting too weird.
yeah, I know. Yeah, they're doing like a show there right now. It's like an immersive theater show at this castle, and I had interviewed Steve Whitmire about all
Oh,
that
that's
stuff,
right. I saw that on your site. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing the puppetry for it, but there's also like aerial performers and dancers and fire breathers and all sorts of
Dang.
crazy stuff. So my buddy's got a pretty good camera, so the two of us went there and spent like 3 days just getting cool shots around the castle and interviewing all these people, and I kind of put my interview skills to the test because it was a lot of people that I didn't really know anything about, or
Yeah.
was just meeting, and they're like, "Oh, hey, interview this person."
Right,
He
right.
does fire dancing. I was
Right.
like,
Free for all. Free for all.
yeah, exactly. But it was pretty cool. It was very cool actually, and it was kind of fun to interview people like that because I was like, I'm curious about all of these things. I
Right,
don't know
right.
much about
I
fire
did,
dancing.
yeah, I didn't know it was going to be wrapped into an interview, but oh well.
Yeah, I was very excited though because it was they were doing all sorts of very cool things, and there was a lot of interesting people involved. They were like, "Oh yeah, this guy did all the dancing, all the choreography, and he used to go on tour with Cher back in the day."
Oh
Like,
my God, you have
"Holy
got to
cow."
be kidding me. That's a whole show unto itself. Please bookmark that visit that you're talking about right now, because if you've got people that spilled into that scenario that were on the Cher show or whatever, that's a whole different show for me.
I know. There was several people that I was like, man, I wish we had more time to talk to
I know.
this person.
I know. Well, speaking of which, I try to keep these shows at 25 minutes, and we're just about there now. So I want to thank you, Wesley, for coming, and I want to invite you back for that story of the fire breathers and all of that with the former Cher show co-stars or chorus boys or whatever they were.
Yeah, no, that would be great.
Yeah. So thank you so much for calling in. And like I said, it's first of a few. And definitely you're on the docket for something upcoming. Because like I said, now I've just discovered there's like a whole nother thing I want to talk about. But thank you for calling in. I'm so excited.
No, thanks for having me. I'm coming off of a cold right now, so I probably sound a little crazy, but I always love chatting with you.
You too. We'll talk afterwards and regroup. But again, thanks for being on, and bookmark that story.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Wesley. Thanks again so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's good talking to you.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that was a lot of fun, huh? We're at about 26 minutes, so I'm going to kind of wrap things up for you. You got a lot of information in this show about what's going on, what's coming up. You got an interview, maybe some clips coming up. You never know with me, middle of the night, walking the dog, who knows? I love you. Thank you for joining me this evening. I can't wait to upload this, and I'll see you soon. Bye.